Hi there. I'm going to explain some exercises to repair and to heal the shoulder and strengthen the shoulder after a shoulder injury, especially a dislocation of a shoulder. It can be other shoulder injuries as well. I'm going to talk about using the TheraBand. The TheraBand comes in different colors. It comes in the blue. The lightest is the pink or the red. Then you have the green, then the blue, and then it goes on darker colors. I would start, usually if it's an acute injury, I would start with the red and then move your way up. What's important is to learn how to do a knot so that a knot that doesn't tighten. So here we do a little loop and we come from underneath, around and back over. There we go, and on, or in the hole here, and then you tighten the actual loop. So you get a knot, it's like a safety knot really, that can't tight on you. And then we have one on the other side. I'm going to open this one here so that I can use this one to, using it as an exercise. So you create the loop on one end, the other end doesn't have to have a loop. And then you use the door in order to strengthen. The idea is that you will do external rotation, strengthening, internal rotation. What's important to remember is that you will exert effort when you're stretching, and you will maintain an effort. So the string is going to pull. The beautiful thing about TheraBand is that it strengthens as you shorten the muscle, and it also strengthens as you lengthen the muscle by virtue of you resisting the pullback of the band. It's a really important exercise. It's a really important way to restore muscle, and I highly recommend doing it in such a fashion. So don't ever rotate out and immediately release. You rotate out and you resist the pullback, and that's why using the harder bands is very advantageous for a really good strengthening, eccentric strengthening. So we'll demonstrate how we do these exercises. We're going to have, as I said, external rotation, internal rotation. Then we're going to do a pull down and a pull up. Pull up is easy. We can just slip this on your foot and just around your shoe, and you just in this kind of manner. And then as you pull it up, you'll pull it up straight in this kind of fashion, and you'll bring it down. Again, remember, we're bringing it down slowly, 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 slowly. And you bring it up again, and this really gets this is the concentric strengthening, and then the eccentric strengthening as you bring it down. Really, really good to remember. We're going to do that. We can also, even better than that one, which I highly recommend, is you put the band on the opposite foot and you bring it into this position, so you're both externally rotating, abducting, and flexing the arm in one motion, and then again you're returning the same kind of movement, and you do this movement. It's a fantastic exercise, and here you're just sitting down, no effort necessary. I would recommend of these exercises that you do 25 if you can, 25 to 30 repetitions, and you would do it 3 or 4 sets a day, especially depending on what phase of recovery you have from the dislocated shoulder. Of course, if it's very acute, you won't be able to get those kind of movements. You'll start very lightly. You'll just start with the shoulder. We're going to demonstrate it on the door, and that's what I use this knob for. Just through the door, you're just going to do the external rotation with the arm tucked into the body. That's very important, so that everything is stabilized. This is your safety position in a dislocated shoulder, and you can do external rotation, and remember what I said, you just bring it back really slowly until it comes back to neutral. External rotation, back to neutral, and then you'll do the same thing with the door, with the knob on the handle of the door, and I'll show you how we do that. You're going to do internal rotation, and you're going to do slow release, and then you're doing internal rotation again, and slow release. And those are pretty much the other exercise, that the band is going to be up inside the door, and you just pull it down, and that's going to be really, again, you can pull it across body is what I recommend, and then bring it up, cross body, and bring it up. Those are the really good exercises to rehabilitate the shoulder best you can. So as we said, we use the loop that we made in order to attach onto a door handle on the other side. You can do it on the same side too, but this is recommended. And then you bring it, you make sure that the door knob, it does not press on the band. That shortens its life significantly. And for the external rotation, as we showed, we bring the arm into external rotation and we release slowly. Again, arm is tucked into the body, motion in this kind of plane. And then the reverse would be a motion towards the body and release slowly to neutral, and back inward to internal rotation and release slowly. The other exercises are ones that, because you have a knob here, usually you can just throw it over the door like that. It'll get stuck in the door, and then you can do your pull downs. Pull downs, I will mention that at the beginning of recovery you would want to keep, if you can do them, you want to keep them in a straight plane. You don't want to overexert. You don't want to do what I was mentioning before, the cross body at first. Eventually it's a great exercise to do. You can do these sitting down too, just depending on how long your TheraBand is. I usually recommend to get a good 3 meters and cut 2 pieces of either 2 meters or 4 meters, or either 2 pieces of 2 meters, or 1.5 meters is usually all you really need, but 2 meters is a good size too. And then when you release nice and slowly, and it comes up, and you pull it down to the opposite side and release nice and slowly, and then you can do the same to the foot. Recommended as well is to do these exercises while you're sitting on an exercise ball. It's fantastic because at the same time you're both stabilizing the core muscles of your body, as well as working in a seated position, which is highly recommended. And those are the exercises for now. I will add that stretches that you can do as well for these exercises at first are just a stretch where one leg is in front of the other. We're going to just stabilize the door here. Through the doorway is a great way to do it. You just rotate the body, make sure that one leg is in front of the other, and you get a nice stretch through the pecs in this angle. If you can, again, you'll do the 45 or the 135 degree stretch at this angle. Again, just leaning your whole body forward gives a really nice stretch. Either you want to hold the stretch for a good minute, or even roughly around a minute, or 30 seconds to a minute, and you always release really slowly. Again, this is challenging the muscles, and it's challenging the joint in the way that it dislocated, so you've got to be careful with those. Other stretches that are great to do are bringing the arm behind the back in this kind of position. If you can reach like this, it's a great advantage, and you can just stretch really nicely and hold those two muscles. Oftentimes, as you'll see in my case, one side you can reach and the other side you can't, meaning that there's restrictions in rotation of the arms, and if you can't reach, you drop your TheraBand down and you stretch in order to get as close as you can. And here you stretch up to stretch the internal rotators, the external rotators, and you can stretch down to do the other group, just like that. Again, with a straight back, strong core, you can do this in a seated position on an exercise ball as well. And those are the exercises that I recommend. And that'll be it for today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, you can contact me at slatherapy@gmail.com. All the best. My name's David Slater. Take care.